decision cycle is getting shorter and shorter and shorter to the extent that it is either interfering with or somehow changing the way presidential decisions are being made?
I think by logic you'd have to say that it does, because going back to the founders, their idea was that our system, and Jim can correct me because he knows this very well, depended to some extent on the fact that political decisions would be made slowly. You know, letters would take a while, gazettes would take a while to be delivered, you know, reportage would take a while to get to people, and that gave you, you know, leisure time to actually consider decisions, both political leaders and citizens, you know, with some thought and, you know, without this kind of haste. And I guess the point I'm making now is that, you know, you'll hear this from members of Congress and I think most recent presidents, you just don't have that anymore because it is demanded of you that you have an immediate reaction. And I really do think that if the Cuban Missile Crisis took place today, Kennedy would not be able to get away with a week of deliberating to decide what he was going to do. Same thing with the Berlin Wall. And all I'm saying is that, you know, I think the founders would say, and I would agree, that decisions are usually better made if you do have that kind of time and are able to consult people and get the information you need. That will never happen again. You know, the presidency is now what it is, and it's going to get even worse. So I think the best thing we can do is, when we're considering who we might want to see in the White House, you know, tell yourself, is this someone who, you know, given this situation where they're under all these pressures to decide and talk in 3 seconds, do they have the strength of character, do they have the skills to hold that off a little bit and to be able to make decisions with a little bit more leisure time?
I think that's right, but there's always the Senate, you know, they manage to slow things down no matter what. It's
A little bit.
wonderful